Okay, I think we are on. Yes, I can see myself. We are live. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's get things started. Hey, everyone. Just gonna allow a few minutes just to get some people into this live stream. So if you're watching this as a playback, let me close this window. A lot of people out there. If you're watching this as a playback, have some patience. You can stick around with me. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what we're talking about today, and if you don't want to stick around for that, you can just skip it by just a few minutes, and we're going to be jumping right into the topic. Today is going to be really exciting because I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and now I'm finally making it, and I'm just literally going to just put out all the tools that I use to make visual effects, to make some of the effect work for some of the clients that I've been working with. Just really everything that I use on a day-to-day basis. I'm putting it all out on the table for you guys so that you can use these libraries, these assets, these tools, and these resources as well. I'm really, really excited. These are brands that I've worked with in the past. These are really great companies. They make some really solid assets that I think that if you are into editing, if you're into doing any kind of visual effects, this is going to be just really, really interesting video for you. We're going to, of course, look at explosions, muzzle flashes, and just some of the best sources out there where you can get them. And now I know you might be triggered automatically to think about Action Essentials and all that. And although that's a really great pack, we're not going to talk about that just because everyone knows about it. Everyone has been using it. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see that in videos that I see on YouTube or even in commercial work, I can always spot certain assets like, oh, that was used from Action Essentials. So that's why I didn't include it in this video. It's starting to get a little outdated. It's still a great pack. I still use it. But for this list, I'm going to show you some things that could be a better substitute. So that's going to be in this live stream. We're also going to look at a few different assets that you can use for motion graphics that can really take your intro making skills to the next level without having to spend a ton of work into After Effects, and just by having a few drag and drop assets that can really elevate and make your motion graphic work feel that much more dynamic and just energetic. So we're going to jump into all of that. I see that there's some people in the chat. Grimmick says hello from Morocco. Nice. And we already have some questions. I'm just going to answer just one question, and then we're going to jump right into it just to buy some time to get other people to join in this fun live stream. So Raul asks, what software Hollywood studios use for video editing? Now, this is a really good question, and it actually ties in with what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So he says, like Hollywood studios, obviously that can differ from studio to studio. I know that for a lot of the really big productions with some of the really heavier pipelines, Nuke is very popular as far as a compositing software. So After Effects is usually seen as more of a motion graphics type of suite in those studios, and Nuke does most of the heavy lifting just because it has so much integration from other 3D applications such as Maya, 3ds Max, and all of that. And it has some really great camera mapping options that I wish After Effects had. But, and this is why this is a great question, because we're actually going to look at a tool, at a plugin that's super cheap. You can install it into After Effects, and that can actually do some of the things that After Effects can't and that Nuke can. And it's just a great way to just create some 3D from 2D images, from matte paintings. So all this stuff, all the features that the much more expensive and fancier and more complicated Nuke has that After Effects doesn't, we're just going to look at some tools that can really compensate for that to just make your work to those Hollywood studio standards. So we're gonna jump into all of that in just a second. I see that my stream health is not great. My internet is terrible, so if you experience some lagging or if I freeze, just let me know. All right, so I think we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump in. I'm so excited for this. And if this is your first time on my channel, definitely consider subscribing. I just want to play that animation again. Hit the bell notification so you're actually notified when I stream again. And yeah, there's actually an editing workshop that I've been working on for a while, and that's gonna come out very soon. So definitely it's not gonna be all live streams from here on out. I'm definitely going to keep these going because you guys seem to really enjoy them. But we have a really huge and just packed with information editing workshop coming up this coming month. So, all right, enough rambling. I see some people in the chat. Someone says, love the lighting, man. Thank you. I try. You can kind of see the Tri-8 right there in that corner. That's what's giving me this backlight. Trying to step it up at every live stream, trying to get fancier on you guys. All right, so we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about the best visual effects tools and assets that you can find right now online. All right, what's up, everyone? My name is Chris Trini. We're gonna get started on this live stream, which I'm super excited about. These are all of my tricks, all the stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis for clients, and I'm just gonna share these packs and these libraries with you, and where I get pretty much the stuff that I use all the time. So let me just hop on my website real quick. I don't think you can see it. Can you see it? Okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to do some live adjustments on the fly real quick. Sorry if this looks really terrible. It was working just a second ago. Bam. All right, no worries. There's always going to be something going wrong in these streams, so don't get too comfortable with things being polished and perfect all the time. All right, this is my website. You've seen it many times before. You can check it out. It's just a more organized place where you can find all the videos and the workshops. And again, like I've mentioned before, we've covered this article in the past live stream, so the best 4K cameras you can find. And this is all part of these series of articles that I'm doing, which is the ultimate filmmaking buyer's guide. You can find just a ton of useful stuff that I've gathered over here. But I'm going to actually just show you guys this article on the best VFX tools. This is pretty much where I've organized everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video, so you can kind of already have some spoilers over here about what we're talking about. But let's start with the very first one, which is Action VFX. Now, Action VFX is just simply amazing. Let me see if this will work and if I can go on their website. There we go. So this is, you can see that they have a discount right now, 50% off. And actually, I should have prepared this, but I believe I have a promo code where you can get even more of a discount. I think like 10% off or something if you use my referral link. So I'm definitely going to update you on that very soon. I'm not sure. But you can see what this is just from seeing this slideshow that they have here, these videos. It is just incredible assets, really high quality stuff. These guys actually started as a that subscribe thing keeps popping up. It's probably going to keep doing that. Good reminder to subscribe. I still haven't figured out how to not have that pop up every time. But these guys actually started with a Kickstarter campaign. So they were completely independent. They had this idea. They realized that there was a much needed need in the marketplace for VFX artists when it came to having really solid fire and explosion assets. You know, the type of assets that don't get cropped on top and you have to add masks and feather it. So they actually listened to the VFX community and they were like, okay, we know what's out there. We know what people are using. How can we make that better and with just a much higher resolution? And essentially, that's what they did. So that's my ultimate place for finding. You can see that they have explosions. They have fire, gun effects, smoke, debris, impact, all this good stuff. And I mean, this library is pretty intense. You can see that many TV shows and features have used these assets just because they're really great quality, and they're just really super easy to use. You literally just drag and drop them. They're already pre-keyed. They give you a ton of options in case you want to do some additional tweaking manually yourself. You have those files on there. So that is why I really recommend them. So let me just let me see if I can hop on the chat real quick before we jump into the next one. I just want to see your guys' thoughts on Action VFX. Have you guys actually used this before? Did you know about them? Because I know that they're getting really big and they're constantly updating their library all the time. And I'm just curious to see if anyone uses them. Someone says, hello, I'm new to the channel. That is Sci-Fi Nova 9. Welcome. It's great to have new people. I'm always just excited to see this community around this channel grow. So Nice. So yeah, I guess as I move forward, just let me know if you have seen action VFX stuff anywhere else. But for now, we're just gonna keep going. How do I get back on the website? Oh, there we go. I am back on the website. Nice. All right. So let's just keep going on the article. This guy's one of the founders, I believe, and they're really great guys. Like really, just solid people that actually care about the community. They listen to feedback, and that's why I love them so much. And their stuff is just really great. I mean, I'm gonna post links to everything in the description of this video. I don't think I've done that. But I do have a link to this article, and all the images and everything that you see in this article is linked to the things that I'm talking about, so you can check those out. So number 2 is VolumeX Pro. This is what I was talking about earlier when it comes to some of the limitations that After Effects has. I'm going to be doing a matte painting course very soon, and that's super exciting because you can literally create new worlds, just kind of like crazy sci-fi landscapes, castles, all that good stuff. I mean, if you look at Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, they don't actually go to distant planets. You know, all of that stuff, all those huge, massive, epic landscapes, those are all matte paintings. And the nice thing about that is that they actually are able to make them, they can kind of apply a 2D matte painting onto a 3D mesh and just do camera projection, all kind of fancy stuff that you can do in Cinema 4D. It's just a lot of steps to do in the professional world and how they do it. But with this tool that I'm showing you guys right now, this is honestly just kind of like a trick that you can have in your bag to get a very similar result. So you can see just from this GIF that I've posted on here, this is from the plugin owner himself. He shows you literally how in 2 steps you can create a depth map, and you essentially tell based on black and white values, so you know including gray and in between, where things are and how distant they are to you. And then from there, by using displacement maps and a bunch of stuff that this plugin figures out on its own, it's able to create this really cool 3D effect. So you can essentially just literally make a matte painting in Photoshop, and then from there you literally just drag it into After Effects, use this plugin, and now you can add some really cool camera movement, and you can really make that matte painting come to life. So it's kind of complicated to explain to get your head around it. I will do a full workshop on just matte paintings. I'm going to have some guest speakers come in down the road. We have the editing workshop coming up next. But this is going to be a really great tool that we're going to look at. And I really highly recommend that you guys get this now and you just start experimenting with it. It's a ton of fun. And it's not just used for matte paintings. I mean, I'm going to be using it for matte paintings. I don't know if that's its intended purpose. You can see here as I scroll down, they have a way of applying these 3D meshes onto people's faces, kind of using the same technique as displacement maps. And you can literally make 2D photos come to life in 3 dimension. And I mean, this could be great for intros, for just impressing your friends, or whatever. It's like you can make flat images look 3D, and that's pretty incredible. So let me just jump into the live chat. Let me know if this is all making sense to you guys. If you think that this stuff is useful. Nice. So okay. One of the founders of Action VFX previously started Rody Polis. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They make some pretty decent stock elements too. Yeah, they're great. They're just seeing how they've come up and how much they've grown. I'm just a really big fan of that. That is awesome. So, all right, I guess we can move on to number 3. So again, you can check out the article, you can watch the videos and learn more about all these things. I'm just giving you a very brief explanation and introduction to these things that I use, just because I know that I tend to ramble a lot and these videos tend to be much longer than they need to be, but I get carried away. All right, so number 3 is the 140 Flash Effects Elements version 3. This thing is incredible. I think to get a really solid idea, let me see if I can click on there we go. It's from the Envato Marketplace, and you can see here, this will just give you a much better idea of what it can do. It might be a little laggy. I can tell from what I'm seeing on the stream that it's not playing really smoothly, but these are just previews of the amount of assets that they offer. And it's just these kind of cartoon style elements that you can use, as you can see here, to create intros, to add some more movement and animation to your cartoons or animations that you make, even in After Effects. You can see here how there's like a character that has kind of like these superpowers, and these are all elements from this pack. And you can see that they have smoke elements. And this might seem like something very specific. Like you might be saying right now, like, well, I don't make cartoons. Why do I care about this? Well, let me tell you, I don't either. I've experimented. I've tried making some animations, some cartoons. I can't say they were perfect, but that's not what I got this pack. I got this pack because honestly, it literally paid itself back in the first minute that I bought it, because I used it for a bunch of client work for some motion graphics stuff. I mean, you can see how packed this thing is and how much crazy goodness it has. These are my favorite ones. These next ones coming up, the energy elements, these are really great. Like this is what I use all the time to just create some logos, some intros for clients. I don't know if you recognize some of these elements, but I've used them in my thumbnails as well. So this is a great way to just call attention to certain things. You can use these, of course, not just in videos, but in Photoshop. And these are just like incredible elements to have in your library at any given time. If you want to, if you have a client hitting you up, it's like, I need a quick intro thing, like making these elements from scratch would take you ages, but just having them right then and ready, they don't require any plugins. You just literally drag and drop these files into After Effects. And with a few clicks, you can combine a few of them to create some complex animations. And now you have something that looks professional, something that looks like it took a while to make. But really, no one knows these tricks. You're the only one that knows that you have these assets readily available, just one folder away, one click away. So that's what I've done a lot of times for clients, and clients were super stoked about it. They got this stuff, and it looked dynamic. It looked really cool. They had all this stuff flying around, all this energy coming at you. It's cool, and it works for visual effects too. Like all those energy elements that you saw, I've actually used them in different VFX pieces that I've done. You can even use them as a displacement map to create these like force fields. Let me know in the chat if you would like to see some tutorials using this stuff. I wanted to prepare a few clips, but I didn't have time. But if you watch my work, like if you go on my website, if you watch even my client work, the motion graphic stuff, I use that stuff all the time, like seriously all the time. So let me just, I'm just going to keep checking back on the live chat just to make sure I'm not leaving anyone behind. Nice. So people are digging it. Iomi TV, first timer here. Thanks. Welcome. It's so nice to see new people. Honestly, I've been terrified about these live streams. I've been been worried about them. And honestly, I'm having so much fun, and it's great to see new people come on and just starting a conversation about this stuff, which, as you know, I can go on for hours about, because I'm, I love talking about this stuff. So I'm definitely going to have to keep myself on track and contained from not rambling on about this stuff for hours, because my goal is always to make 10 to 15 minute live streams, and they end up being like 30 to 40 minutes. But, hopefully we'll keep that up. Oh, I forgot to show you something. I did have a test that I did not too long ago. This is a very short test that I did right before the live stream. So it took me like literally less than an hour. So this is going to be a rough visual effect. It's not perfect, but I want to show you what it looks like to just drag and drop some elements from Action VFX. Sorry, it's like they're a competitor, but like I said before, I much prefer Action VFX just because they're newer, high resolution, and they just listen to more needs. Not to crap on Action Essentials, but anyway. So here's a test I want to show you so you can get an idea of explosions. Okay, so again, not a big deal. Let me see if I can show you that again and still talk about it. Yeah, there we go. You can still hear me, right? So you can see that there's just a few things going on. I was able to kind of create. You can see the reflection in the water puddles on the bottom. The smoky part of it is not perfect. Again, this was literally like just under an hour of just throwing these things together and just testing out these different assets. But you can see how easy it is to just drag and drop them into your composition. You spend more time, you can get the smoke to look better. They actually now have assets that has smoke included in the pre-keyed element. I don't know if the music is, let me lower the music of this. Sorry if it was blasting earlier. Hopefully you could hear me. Yeah, so again, it's super simple stuff. This mostly was just drag and dropping elements, with the exception of creating the water reflection on the bottom that you see there. And that was all done just by just keying out the sky reflected in that area, adding a very rough mask, and then literally just flipping, like precomposing my explosion assets, flipping them upside down, and that's how you get some reflection effects. And that's just a tip that I want to briefly mention. I know it's a little off topic, but since we're talking about explosions or any kind of compositing of that nature, always look for reflections, for shadows. If you can add some shadows, like actually have the elements, this doesn't have to be explosion, like literally anything, interact more with the ground, have points of contact that you can show by even, you can create a solid, create a mask, feather it out, create multiple instances of that mask, so you can kind of fake some ambient occlusion, which is essentially like very direct shadows of points of contact between objects. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but it's essentially just creating shadows so you can really establish those points of contact in your composition. And then, of course, pay attention to reflections. If there's a car, if there's a window, you know, you can duplicate whatever you're doing and kind of fit it to those surfaces so that, again, it adds more realism. It tricks people into thinking that those things are actually there. Another great trick for that is to have some form of practical effect, meaning something that was happening while you were shooting to kind of interact with those things. One cool thing could be just to throw some pieces of paper, have people react, have strings tied to a chair, to other things. You can pull them so that the objects in your scene actually kind of react to the explosion that you're later going to put on. Another great way of doing that is by adding some lights with, you know, like some of the aperture lights, for example. You can have them on a remote, and you can have them off, and then as soon as you cue your explosion with everything else, you turn the light on, and that'll be some nice light, some real light in your scene that will make your explosion feel that much more real. Okay, let me know if this is all making sense, if you're enjoying this. Let me see if I can, boom, give it a like. Can you see that? In that corner, There we go. Those are some of the overlays I did. Let me show you the smash the like button. Smash that like button. There we go. Those are some overlays that I did. I'm probably going to release them soon. Oh, you know what? I'm going to talk about this at the end. You know the giveaway that I did last week? I didn't forget about that. We're going to talk about it in just a second, and we're doing another giveaway. So stay tuned. By the end of this live stream, you're going to get some free stuff. If you sign up by the end of this live stream, I'll show you how. By the end of it, like literally an hour after I'm done streaming, I'm going to send out the first email to that VIP subscriber list that I talked about in the last video, and you're going to be getting a free pack that I'm going to show in this video. So I'm going to show you what you're getting, and I think you guys are going to really like it. So more on that a little bit later, but for now, let's jump back in to the rest of the list. So we've talked about this. Here is another thing that I use all the time. These aren't really assets. This is more of like a plugin, but essentially what this is just transitions of different styles, different categories that I use all the time, more than I should. Probably not. I mean, they're usually motivated, but you've probably seen these online by now. They're really, really common. Everyone's jumping in on this, and everyone's using them in their videos. It's like the new trend. And I do want to say, this pack is really cool. You can see how there's a lot of really cool, interesting transitions that you can apply to your video to make it look that much cooler and energetic. But don't overdo it. Just like with everything else, you know, like I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I'll find a pack and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is so good. And I'll just use that on every video, on every project ever. Don't do that just because it becomes overused. And honestly, just with anything else, like we've talked about, you know, aside from looking at story, just look at what makes sense for your video. Does it call for that kind of transition, or are you just doing it to make the video look cool? You know, could be both, but I don't think you should only do it just because it looks cool and you want to throw it at every chance you get. So that's just a little disclaimer, just because I've been seeing it over and over everywhere. So what this is essentially is just, let me click on it because I feel like the actual owner of this will do a better job at explaining what this is. So it's called Handy Seamless Transitions, and it's insane, the quality and just the effect of this. that this has on your videos. I've used this in music videos. You can use them in a sneaky way, so that's like, what I mean by that is like you can subtly have like a shot kind of moving in, like the actual shot is moving in, and then you have another shot moving in, and you can, for example, maybe match it up with a distortion zoom or a power zoom or something like that. So you can see how they have these simple transitions, these camera transitions, lens transitions, and these are great because they actually kind of mimic what a camera would do. So you can pair that with some real movements, or some like following a certain direction that your shot is having, and by adding this, it just really adds to that motion, and it just makes your videos epic and awesome. You can see that there's a ton of stuff, and the one that I'm linking to right now is a bundle where you can get all of these things. And honestly, I've used it, and I thought I wouldn't be using it as much as I am, and I'm loving it. So that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. It's not in Premiere. I think there's a pack in Premiere coming out soon, but you're gonna have to dynamic link into After Effects if you want to add this transition to two different clips. But again, it works so well. It even has its own extension called Motion Bro or something like that, and you can use that to browse with all the categories. You can preview them, so it's really, really effortless to use. I really, really love it. So yeah, those are as far as transitions. And now we're going to move on to, let's go back to the article here, to the very last one, which is Production Crate Effects. This is another library, and this is more like CG based. So as you can see here, let me just click on it, show you a little bit what's going on here. This library is more like CG elements, so it's not like real, like filmed assets for the most part, but it's still great nonetheless. Like some of my favorite ones are the natural elements. You can see like some sandstorms and avalanches, some storm clouds. So you can make your own like Mad Max desert sequence that has some really cool lightning stuff, some skies, some clouds. This is just like really great stuff to have just some very quick and easy ways of accomplishing some really complex VFX. Like these guys probably have a team behind us that creates all these things, and they're doing hours and hours of work that would be next to impossible for individuals to do on tighter deadlines. And that's why I really love what they are doing here. You can see here they just have these like storm clouds. It's just really great. I've been using them, and they're just so simple to use, and they're really great quality, and they're constantly updating their library. I mean, look at this. Look at how much stuff they have. It's insane. They have zombies, SWAT, and henchmen, so you can even have like extras in your thing, in your movie. Like if you had a SWAT scene and you can only afford like 2 SWAT suits, or maybe you can clone a few guys, but you want to add some more, well, there you go. Just drop in a few of these guys. They seem properly trained. So yeah, they just have a ton of great stuff. Again, it's always updated all the time. It's just insane, just what is available now out there. These are literally like, they kind of feel like cheats, like you don't have to go out and shoot these things. You don't have to do that anymore. You just have all this stuff available, and you can create some really great effects just by downloading all these assets, playing with them, like integrating multiple ones all in one. It's just, I don't know. I'm excited. I love stuff like this. I love browsing on the internet to find these kind of things. And I know sometimes people might not be aware of some of these assets that are really great. And that's why I just want to share this list with you guys, and hopefully you can find it helpful to use in your own videos. All right, so that wraps up the list, but don't go away just yet, because we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. So we've talked about this in the last week. I mentioned how I was starting to set up a new, like a, how do you call it? Like an email list, essentially. It's like a VIP list so that you can have free assets. I'm going to be sending a ton of stuff to this group of people. So like information, free assets every week. That's what I'm going to try to do. Free assets every week. And to do that, you can either go to Kriscoart.com/free. You can sign up there, or there's a link to it in the description down below. You can sign up, and then what I'm going to do is I didn't send out an email last week, just because I felt like not enough people knew about it. And once I send an email with a free pack, that email is gone. So if you sign up after that email is sent, you're not going to get that free stuff. That's why I'm saying, like, sign up while you can, because the more that you wait to sign up, the less free stuff you're going to get. I'm not trying to be like evil like that, and it wasn't planned in that sort of way. I just realized that I didn't want to send emails all the time, constantly, and spam people. I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna send them once, and that's it. So I'm gonna wait an hour after the stream is done to send out the very first email. So you don't have to rush and do this now. But as soon as you end up, end watching this live stream, go and sign up, because let me show you what we got going on. We got a free grunge paint texture pack. Now this is exciting for me just because I've always wanted something like this, and I've used this many times for backgrounds and for just motion graphics elements, even to overlay this in Photoshop and create some really interesting textures. And let me just give you a quick look at what you get with this pack. So let's start from the beginning. You have some black and white, just really grungy and full of textures that you can use and overlay for whatever. You can literally use this for so many different purposes. And then you got some abstract color ones. You can see you have some paint splatter of all these different colors, all this kind of different colored paint, all these different splatters. They all follow kind of like a color palette in a way. So you know that they're visually going to look good no matter how you use them. These are like colors that were specifically picked to look good together, to complement each other. You can see there's all kinds of different types of backgrounds that you can use. We got some running paint backgrounds, of course, again, of different types of colors that really look well together. I mean, you can make lyric videos out of these. There's so many uses. I don't even know. Like I'm gonna start using these a lot because I just made them and I'm really excited and I can't wait to use them. And hopefully you can find some uses out of them as well. So that's it. That's pretty much the first pack. And again, you can go under kriscoart.com/free to sign up for this, or you can follow, I think it's the first link in the description. And yeah, you can sign up to the VIP email list, and you're going to be getting free stuff every single week. So I hope that you will enjoy these things. Hopefully you appreciate this free stuff coming to you guys. A lot more free content coming on this channel for education. And again, all the things that I mentioned in the article, those are affiliate links, which means that I've just reached out to these companies and I said, hey, I use your stuff all the time. I'm going to be doing this kind of thing. Can I have, do you have an affiliate program of some sort? And what that means is that it's at no extra cost to you, but when I send people over there, they kind of give me a thank you with just a few cents for their appreciation. And of course, all that adds up, and it helps support this channel for future free tutorials. So if you are interested in supporting the channel, I'm going to update the description as soon as I'm done, so you can follow the links in the description, or you can go on the article and go to all those websites that I mentioned. And if you buy stuff from there, you're helping out the channel and you're helping out yourself, because you're getting some really awesome VFX assets. Let me check how long we've been going. 33 minutes? This is like a reoccurring thing now. Like, I'm shocked by how long I talk on these things. I thought this was like 10 minutes. I'm no joke. Like, time is really, like, I don't know. I something's wrong with my perception of time, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. God, I'm becoming one of those YouTubers, but it's so satisfying to play that animation. Is it not? Like, doesn't it look, I don't know. Anyways, that might be a pack that I will release for free too on that VIP list. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what to do with them just yet, but for now, you have the grunge pack, the grunge paint pack. So hopefully you will enjoy that. Again, kriscoart.com/free to go for that giveaway. Check out the links that I told you about for those amazing assets. I literally use them every single day. And now I'm just gonna jump on the live chat just really quick, just to see if I missed any major stuff, and just talk to you guys for just a few minutes before I log off on here. And nice people. Andrew says it's too short, man. Are you talking about the live stream? Because don't tempt me. I will literally go on for hours. But I'm just thinking in terms of whoever's watching this on a playback. If you are watching this on a playback and you stuck through all the way at the end, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for doing that and watching this stuff. Raul says, I love to see tutorials. Nice. JD Design, New York City, says, my first time here. Wow, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being part of this this journey, this channel, this community. Really, really happy about it. Israel says, I don't know if my computer can handle those VFX. Honestly, I did a lot of that work on a 2012 MacBook Pro, which is ancient right now compared to what I'm using now and compared to most other computers. And I handle it all right. I'm not going to lie. You're going to deal with a lot of frustration. But hey, lower your resolution and work from there and just be patient. Let's see. Wow. Bernard said, Adobe Premiere Pro, do they teach it in colleges? I found a few places here in Nashville, Tennessee, and they want am I reading that right? $1,350 for just 3 days of training. Where can I learn Premiere Pro online? Wow, it's almost like like we planned this. We didn't. But I do have a Learn Premiere Pro in 20 minutes, and it's free, so it's not $1,300, and it's not 3 days, it's 20 minutes. And literally, if you watch that video, I can pretty much guarantee you that you will learn all the basics of Premiere, and that's enough to get you started to edit your own stuff and to watch other videos if you run into some really specific issues that you need to fix. Otherwise, with just 20 minutes, you have a very solid understanding of the interface, of the software, and you can get to edit your videos, manipulate your audio, do all that good stuff. So definitely check out that video on my channel. I have a bunch of Premiere and After Effects tutorials. That's kind of what kickstarted this whole channel up. So definitely I encourage you guys to watch those tutorials. Someone's saying try Lynda. Nice. Yeah, Lynda's a great platform. Video Copilot is another great platform for After Effects specific tutorials. So that's really nice. All right, nice. If you guys have any other questions, Lion Wings X asks, how many film internships did you do as a high schooler? Not that many. I did some workshops. I did a summer workshop for filmmaking at Maine Media Workshops. It was a great experience. But most of the other stuff has been just my personal projects. I got some friends together, just experimenting and shooting that way. And that's how I learned most of the stuff that I know right now. That and YouTube videos. It's honestly been great. I do encourage internships. I would definitely do that over film school. Get shadow people that are working professionally in the industry, watch what other people are doing, be on sets as much as possible. If you're into editing, VFX, watch what a VFX artist is doing. I'm sure that people will appreciate, like, someone that does this and that's their craft and that's what they live and breathe. If you ask them, hey, I want to learn, can I just watch how you work? I don't like, they have to be a real dick to be like, no, I don't want you here. You know what I mean? Like they'll probably be very accepting and they'll be like, sure, Eugene says, greetings from Russia. Love your tutorials. Hello. It's so awesome to see people from all these different places come here for these live streams. I honestly, it just means so much to me that these messages and these videos and these tutorials are reaching so many people. It's still kind of surreal and insane. Nice. Hopefully I didn't miss any comments. If I did miss any, if you want to ask some final things, now's your chance. Go ahead and comment them, and I will address them right now before I log off, because right now we're reaching 38 minutes. Let's try to make this maybe a 40-minute even live stream. Let's see if I can manage to do that. But anyways, I do want to mention something real quick, just a shameless plug real quick. I know that a lot of people have been asking about Premiere Pro and editing. The next main project that I'm working on right now is an editing workshop, not a live stream, not any of this stuff. This stuff is fun. I love this conversational aspect of it, but I'm talking about a real, polished and just like a episodes type of workshop. And we're literally talking about everything that there is about editing from the very start, like the type of desk setup that I have that has made me functional in terms of editing, to all the way to how I set up my folder structure, my Premiere Pro, editing audio, editing with story in mind. We're going to get like really philosophical about it too, so we're not just going to look at the technical aspect. I'm really pumped for that workshop. It's honestly going to be huge. I have some really cool collaborations for that in mind. Hopefully all that comes to fruition. And I'm excited to launch that. I think if everything goes right, it'll be this coming month. And then we're going to follow that with a advanced compositing workshop. So Guys, if you want tutorials on After Effects, on basic stuff, on explosion, muzzle flashes, I've covered all of that over and over in my channel. So that's why now I'm taking the next step, and I'm like, all right, go back, watch those videos if you have seen them. If you feel ready, let's take this a step further. Let's go into the advanced field, and let's really, you know, get pro with this. So that's what this next workshop's going to be all about. You know, it's still going to be in a very friendly, you know, beginner language, but we're going to look at some really advanced stuff, and I'm super pumped for that, as well as the compositing one. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a matte painting one, which I know is something that seems specific, and not a lot of people do matte paintings. But once you learn how to do them, you can create spaceships. You can create these fantastical set extensions. You can even just regular sets. You know, you could have maybe issues with having access to Chicago or New York. Well, you can shoot in the back street or in a parking lot, and you can make it look like New York. So anyways, I'm rambling at this point. I'm just saying that there's a lot of exciting stuff coming to this channel. So don't think it's only going to be live streams. I love these. I'm going to keep doing these, but we're also going to look at some really cool workshops coming up. Speaking of workshops, I did a, let's see if I can go on my channel. I did a lighting workshop. Where is it? There we go. You can see there's 3 episodes for this lighting workshop. Guys, this was so much work. I appreciate you guys watching this and commenting. There's a lot of information packed on here. We have some really talented guest speakers, DPs, and lighting technicians that were part of this workshop and that literally shared their craft and their tricks and techniques. So I really recommend you check that out. Am I going on for too long? Okay, I'm getting the plug. So I'm gonna have to go. I think they see you through the... Wait, actually, I'm not on... Now they can see you. Yeah, I'm being told that I need to go. I've been going on for too long. So, all right, I'm just going to read off the last... I got a bunch of last few comments. Let me just go right through them. Great tutorials, expressions for After Effects. I have a tutorial on that, Oscar. You can check it out. It's called Expressions for After Effects, I think. It's a little bit old, but it's still great. It has all the main expressions that you need to know for After Effects. Is it worth paying for film classes in college? I'd say, well, if you're already in college, then yeah, why not? But I wouldn't go to college to specifically learn that. I have mixed feelings about film schools and all that, so I don't know if I could recommend that. How do you get rights to specific songs in videos? Asks Andrew. I've also left another link in the description to Artlist, and you can check that out. And they have amazing songs and tracks. It's literally the best quality that I've found, and I love them. And it's a subscription-based system. I'm not sponsored. I'm literally just telling you this because you can sign up for it, and you can literally download all the tracks that you want. It has a license that includes really everything, so you can use them for commercial projects, YouTube videos, whatever, and you're good to go. So it's called Artlist. I have a link to that in the description below. You can check that out. Pema? I don't know. One of those asks, oh, it just says, you make learning seem so simple and fun. Thank you for all your efforts, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try. What is this question? Let me see it. Raul asks, if you want to use Adobe softwares for video editing and animation, which is the best for me, MacBook or building a custom PC? It depends on how much you're willing to spend. If money isn't too much of an issue, I would go with MacBook just because they're powerful enough. If you get the newest one, and they're sleek, so you can bring your work around. That's why I love them so much. But they're definitely overpriced. I mean, you're paying for the name, for the design, and also the power, but mainly those first 2 things. So if you don't care too much about those first 2 things, get a PC, build one. You can get it for a lot cheaper. And if you don't care too much about mobility, then you can just do that. Just build a PC, and you can make it powerful just as much as a MacBook for like 1/10 of the money. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it'll be much cheaper. So, all right, I think that is it. Yes, some Chicago love from Oscar. Have a few friends from Chicago. Chicago's awesome. All right, guys. I hope this was useful to you. If you know, this is literally the stuff that I use every day. So I just wanted to share this stuff with you guys. I'm going to be doing another live stream on Friday. And as I talk about the intro, let me just show you this very cool split screen that I have here for my Instagram, which is where you can also find some of the highlights of these live streams, some of the little nuggets and topics. I just cut them up and I post them on my Instagram, so you can find those there. You can follow me. It's at Kriscoart. And yeah, guys, if this is your first time, again, subscribe. I'm going to play that intro just because I love it so much. And there we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next live stream next Friday, same time. Hopefully I'll be on time this time. So it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And let me find the outro. Where's the outro? There it is. All right. Goodbye.